All right, welcome back to Half Baked Thoughts on Training with the crew Wolfpac. We've got Paul
50% off.
Foss. Yeah, yeah, 50% up. We're halfway there. We're making gains. We've got
Hmm.
Scance, we've got Matt Sesney and myself, Steve Rose, Waffle Iron Jim. So we're gonna get into it. We've got some
And Big
fun.
Paul.
I think I said Paul Foss.
I think Scance cut you off, but it's fine. I'm not important.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Oh,
Number
you're
15.
handsome.
You're the shining light makes everyone's day.
Hmm.
I don't know about that.
Come on. He's going to be our next 400-pound bencher.
Fact.
Someday.
Maybe tomorrow I can bench 400 right now, one half time.
You never know until you try.
I
That's
bet you
fair.
could do a great eccentric 400-pound bench
Yeah,
press.
it's going to be
It
so
would go down
fast.
so fast. Damn it, you beat me to it.
I have dropped 405 on my chest at near free fall speed before, and I can tell you from experience, it's not fun. That was
You
the
gotta
Wait,
commit to the
wait, it's
descent,
not
though,
fun?
man.
Wait, hang on. I gotta argue with you on that one. Because I have a great time every time I drop 405 on myself.
well, I didn't expect to. It was the day my shirt
Oh,
exploded and it just free fell onto me
Oh,
because I
shit.
lost all the support.
oh.
The denim just completely exploded and then it came down at lightning speed.
Have you tried using weight releasers?
I have never used rate releasers.
Oh,
Surprisingly,
you
we
need
don't
to.
have any.
They are so much fun because that's exactly what happens. I like add like quarters or because it's always like plate quarter jumps.
Hmm.
And at a certain point where it's like the shoulders just don't want to control anything, and then you just eat shit. And hopefully you don't have it overloaded too much to the point where you actually can't get it up.
Gotcha. No, it's not a bad
It's a
idea.
lot of fun.
I wonder if that would help in the shirt, like touching or something.
So
Because we do like
the
reverse
problem is going to
bands a
be
lot.
well, so the problem is going to be you're going to get to that point of you need it to sink a little bit, and then you need to be able to once they come off, you need to be patient in that hole at the touch point.
That's what I mean. That would be a good thing for me. Like take down like whatever, say a third attempt, and then have it strip off like below an opener and try to get that to touch because that one board, that last inch way down, that's where I struggle so
Yeah.
much. That's initially why I had that denim shirt that I blew up and to try to make myself force my body to manipulate to the touch because it has no stretch in it, you know,
Hmm.
like a training tool. And speaking of that, since we're on the topic, we can do a little show and tell for the rest of the people who aren't. I got a piece of vintage gear history for those that don't know. He's the
Yeah.
godfather of equipped powerlifting, Sir Ernie Franz himself. I got this new denim shirt in the mail today. And dude, this is how old school it is. If you look at that collar, it's actually made from a seatbelt that somebody cut out of a vehicle and sewed it onto the shirt to stiffen the collar.
That's freaking awesome.
That's
I,
That
awesome.
rules.
I cannot wait to try it out this weekend. My arms
So
are swimming in it, but it's probably a good thing because, a tight denim would never touch for me. So we're going to bring it back. That's why I got my fucking Chuck V hat on and
That's
I'm
it.
ready to go full bore on Sunday.
how many shirts have you gone through now?
Dude, I I know at one point in time, there was a point in time, and many shirts have come and gone since then, but I had 13 bench shirts in my possession.
Better to have and not
So
need than need not have, right?
The problem is they were all different shirts. And if Dylan was on here, he'd be like whipping me through the Zoom call.
yeah, I was gonna say I have three shirts and they're all stock shirts. They're all Rage, not Rage X, and they're just the same stock shirt in three different sizes. That way, depending on my body weight, one of them's gonna fit.
Imagine that, Steve. You're intelligent with your training and programming and gear selection. I am being good. I've been sticking with overkill for quite a while now. I had a spout last year in that F8 shirt I used at Lift Hard, Live Easy, but I've had my overkill single ply for 2 years now. It's about
Okay.
wearing out, and I just got a two ply that's a little looser. That's going to be the same groove as that one, and that's all I'm sticking with. Maybe bring the arms in a little bit if I can't fill them out by the summer, but that's it. That's my plan, man. I'm
There
sticking
you
with it.
go.
Other
What
than,
happens when you go 308? What happens when you go 308 and you're gonna have to buy more shirts?
If I go 308, all my money's going to go to diabetes socks. My A1C is bad enough at 240, dude. That's the last. My doctor probably wants me to be a 198er, but I like the
The
squats.
limit
better.
does not exist. A1C is a suggestion. The limit doesn't exist.
So it's a funny thing.
Well, no. Hang on. My dad found out that he had diabetes because he was bleeding out of his eyes and his ears, and his average blood sugar was 400.
Oh my God, he should be dead.
Sounds like he's
That's
ready to get
insane.
in a squat suit.
Funny enough, I became the owner of this Franz Bench shirt that I was just talking about because of diabetes. My buddy, I got it off of his A1C was up at 12. So he said, I need to lose 30 to 40 pounds immediately and had to sell all his gear so he could buy smaller
Holy
stuff.
shit.
I mean,
that means his fasting blood sugar is like 350.
Oh yeah.
My boy Johnny, and I love him. He's a great dude. He's hooked me up with so much free gear over the years. This I bought off him, but he's about 5'2", Korean, and 215 pounds walking around weight.
I see
The
no
guy's
problem with that.
insane. Yeah. I mean, the dude squatted $1,000 at 98. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's a monster, but, he's got kids. He's got to live more than 35 years old,
Wait, really? Wait. Do we have to?
The suffering persists, and so do I.
Oh man, A1C that high is fucking insane. From like my line of work, we get these guys that have crazy high A1Cs like that, and just like their feet are all like black and toes are falling off, and they're like, "Oh, do you smoke?" Like, nope, never touched a cigarette in my life. It's just because their like blood gets so acidic that it just starts eating away at itself.
Mm.
Wow.
That's what Mountain Dew will do to you. Maybe a lifetime of drinking 2 liters of that. Steve, I'm glad you gave it up.
I know, dude. It's amazing how many times you don't have to go and get like cavities filled when you quit Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you probably pee a lot less too because you're not trying to flush all that sugar out.
Yeah.
And it's not radioactive either.
Yeah, it doesn't burn coming out.
Like I swear, I started going to the like this one dentist that was like across the street from our condo, probably a decade ago, and at that time I was like 24 or 25, and I must have had 20 or 22 cavities filled just from the
shit.
like
you only have 32 teeth, Steve.
Well, you can have cavities on different sides of the same tooth.
I'm aware.
That's Steve's superpower. He's all fillings.
When you're averaging like 7 to 8 Mountain Dews per day,
God
Jesus Christ.
from like 18 to 22, and then thank God seltzers became popular because I just went like cold turkey. Well, no, so the transition was pineapple juice was a good fix before seltzers,
which is just as acidic as Mountain Dew, if not more so.
Right, but they're smaller
from making
cans, so you drink
on
less.
pineapple juice.
But it's natural sugars.
Yeah. It's fructose, not glucose.
Yeah,
that's not why Steve was drinking pineapple juice.
The gentleman.
But
oh man.
Jeez. But yeah, so that was the magic of just don't drink Mountain Dew. And then you switch to like now with all of my caffeine issues, it's just coffee and energy drinks, but the 0-calorie or low-calorie energy drinks, and no cavities ever since then.
Yeah.
Like 10 or 12 years of no cavities just because of,
think about all that
ghosts.
Think about all the silver you have in your mouth.
I know it plummeted today, but that's fine. It's still up.
Buy the dip. Buy the dip.
Mm-hmm. What are we up to?
investing.
It's got to be. Is it over $5 an ounce now?
What, for silver?
Yeah.
Silver's like $85 an ounce.
Is it
like
really?
Yeah.
Or wasn't it like 20? Or maybe it was 27.
It used to be like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Back
Or
in my
maybe I'm
day, it was a nickel.
It went from like 67 in November because that's when I bought the girls the silver coins that said fiat currency is fake.
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going off the rails. But
No, not at all.
yeah, so I bought it at 67 and it blew up to like 113 yesterday or 2 days ago. And now it just crashed back down to like 85.
Well, Steve's
It's
got a
not going to
couple
go
grams of
down.
silver in his teeth, so
That's his kid's inheritance.
Oh yeah.
By that time, it'll be worth, quarter million.
Yeah, but a quarter million won't be worth shit, so it doesn't really matter.
We need to get back on the rails. I'm controlling myself. The tinfoil is staying in the drawer.
The tinfoil in your veins now. It's influencing your A1C.
Yes, I'm eating aluminum foil for breakfast. Keeps me
I think
sane.
that's just as good as insulin.
Yeah, we'll see. For me, I pretty much gave up like ice cream and like Reese's cups and stuff. It's all Diet Coke now, man. That's my one thing I enjoy in life that has a sweetness to it. But
Dude, I did those homemade Oreos today. They were solid. Like it was like a
yeah,
What?
dessert Oreos, but they were fucking good. Search Joshua Weissman
Yeah.
Oreos, but better. So good.
that's a clip right there, Steve.
I don't know. My old fat self. Every time I get done lifting, I come inside and I eat a Snickers ice cream bar. So you can pry ice cream for me when I'm cold and dead because I will eat ice cream until the day I die.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Man,
you have to.
and it's hard now because it's like pistachio season. Like I do not like Starbucks as a company, but for 3 months of the year when they have pistachio lattes, you better believe I'm going at least once a week. It's their winter special after Christmas from until like mid-March. They do the pistachio lattes. I don't know if you guys are big pistachio guys, but they're phenomenal and they're worth the $7.
Can't say that I am.
I imagine you fit in at your local Starbucks pretty well.
Oh yeah, especially when I hit that no tip button. They love that.
With your big
You want
puffy
a tip?
scarf and your tan woolly sweater
I
Your
actually
Ugg
have a
boots.
magnetic nose
on
ring I
boots.
put in before I go.
You want a tip? Get a real job.
Oh my!
Oh boy.
That gender studies degree isn't helping you.
Steve, reel it in.
Friggin' Zins and latte. I'm like, boys, coffee and cigarettes.
Oh yeah. When men were men.
Straight
We used to
coffee and
be
cigarettes.
a proper freaking country.
Hey, Mary Baird is not in the chat, so we're not going to smoke any cigarettes tonight.
Oh shit!
Well, Paul, let's get a training update. I feel like you were teasing me in the chat and the other day, and I don't know if you followed up or not because I haven't looked because I'm the way that I am. But how's the squat looking, buddy?
You're going to be proud of me. I now squat about 4 inches wider than what I was doing before. And for the first time ever, I actually feel my quads a little bit when I squat, and it doesn't look like complete dog ass. Even Steve was like, "Wow, you don't look like you're a complete moron doing this." And my squat's terrible, so whatever. It was 375 with just mini bands to a box, and 2 weeks ago or last week I did it for three. Just did it for five, and it felt way better. And just like on a shit ass day of work, and so that's all moving according to plan. For the first time ever, my squat doesn't actually feel terrible. So I don't know. Monday or Tuesday will be like one rep max that set up with a SSB to a box. So I don't really know what Steve's going to have me shoot for, and then I'll go from there. So that's a big plus. My deadlift was kind of deloading down because I crashed out on that, just being tired and shitty. So all that went bad. My bench is doing fine. But yeah, my squat form, I'm actually squatting more like a guy who's going to wear wraps and a suit at some point in time, where my feet are wider than I used to be my narrow knee valga squat. So I don't know. My years of trying to learn how to squat from YouTube, watching CrossFit and bad power lifters wearing heels and not really knowing what they're doing. Now it's flats and wide stance to make Steve proud.
It's good. You're using some hips now too,
You're
probably.
sitting back more
Yeah.
now,
Trying.
like you're You don't put your knees out too far in front, or I fold over.
Uh,
I got a shitty
I
squat.
fold I fold bad, but this is actually helping me stay more upright than what I was doing before.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think before, just to like get myself to hit depth, you know, I had to kind of fold into it.
Yeah,
And now if I can keep my hips wide, I can just sit back and stay more
sit right
upright.
into the hole.
It feels a lot better. I kind of was screwing around with it the night that Bryce was over and he pulled this 745 for three, which was fucking nuts. And then I was like, Bryce was like, I'm gonna try squatting because it's just speed squats. I was like, I'm gonna try squatting wide. And I did one set of it, and Bryce looked at me. He's like, "You need to squat like this forever." He's like, "That looks so much better than any of your other squats ever have." He's like, "How did
Oh
it feel?" I was
yeah.
like, "It felt." I was like, "It felt really fast and it felt really
Nice,
light." It's like it didn't feel like anything was on the bar. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "That looks so much better."
Well,
nice.
you were able to open up your hips and push your knees out a lot more. Like your
Right.
knees were pushed out so much more where it just looks so much better.
Well, the thing too is like when you're that tall and you're trying to go down, if you can't open, you have like nowhere to go but to like tuck and roll your hips, which
Right.
like then you lose all your tightness in the bottom where, you stay wide and you're pushing out and driving your hips back. You can actually like
Yeah,
open up for your depth as opposed to just folding and rounding over.
right. And I can actually feel my like abductors and adductors do something to keep my knees out and like keep everything tight versus just folding and just getting stapled. So I don't know. So I think it's good. I think it's going to be a confidence builder going into this meet in March. So
Well, especially
we'll
where
keep
it'll
balling.
translate to your deadlift too.
Oh,
Right.
for sure. Here's a question. Have you been a rep squatter before for meets or are you always a sleeves guy, Paul? I can't remember
Um,
offhand.
I did wraps the second lift hard live easy, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't, but we're gonna do wraps again just because that's what I'm gonna do because it's more fun. And then last year, leading up to it, I was doing wraps, but like I just had a lot of other shit going on, and it just didn't like my wrap squat wasn't just the same as my sleeved, and I was just like, fuck it, I just don't want to deal with it. So I lifted in the wrap division in sleeves last year, but
Okay.
last year was just a mess of a meet. But whatever, I just drank 50 Miller Lights instead of having a good meet, which made it a good meet. So
Sounds like
Well, there
sounds
you
like a
go.
victory to me.
Yeah, it was
So
a win.
when you wrap your knees, do you wrap so the wraps on either knee are pulling your knees open?
yeah, I watched
Okay.
Seth what's his face Albersworth. His
Yeah.
He did a tutorial on YouTube on knee wrapping, which made a lot of sense. So that's what I've used, and then I watched some old like Brandon Allen highlights or like videos and stuff how he did it. So
There's
Um,
a great video on the West Side YouTube with Hoff, and they're showing off like all the Inzer gear, and they show like the West Side style knee wrapping, which is pretty similar to the way Marshall wraps knees and stuff. And it like for me, it helps me open up so much more with not having great hip mobility. Like
mhm.
it's a night and day difference. Like I don't even know so much of its carryover, but it just gets me that depth and it like opens my hips up so much more to have my knees like pulling out actively, like that tactile feedback in the joints.
Mhm.
Right, and for me pulling sumo and being like a reasonable enough sumo deadlifter, it makes a lot more sense for me to kind of squat wide because this was probably a year and a half ago. I was talking to Bryce. I was like, yeah, I was like, I'd always fuck around with the really wide squats just to like go down to a bench. And Bryce was like, yeah, he's like, I would love to be able to do that. He's like, I'm tall like you. He's like, but it's like, I don't have the hip mobility to do it. And then I was watched like Shane Haller, deadlift and squat because he's a super wide wrap squatter, super wide deadlifter. So it's like, and he's about 6'3". Granted, he's heavier and way stronger than me, but like lever length wise is pretty probably equivalent. So watching some of his shit, it's like it doesn't really make sense anatomically how I squat. And this was like a year and a half ago, but I just never actually cared enough to watch myself squat in videos to
Mhm.
learn that I'm a complete moron and it was moving like a motor moron for so long. So hopefully I can figure this out by get it kind of dialed in by March and then really dial it in by July.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and
think
that's
you will.
why I was looking at the flights to go out there because it was like I kept seeing how bad your squat was. Like you were just pushing your knees forward, and then there's nowhere for your hips to go. So you're like struggling for depth, and then you're just like eating shit, folding over forward to try and get there. And it was like if you just went wider like that, and it took a while for you to figure it out, but you found it where it was like, oh, cool, I don't have to fly out to South Dakota to tell you to go wider.
Well, the other
Well, and I
thing
think
too,
go ahead.
is like it's one of those things like how you were talking about your abductors working so much harder. That takes a long time to build those up and to have like the strength and stability to keep and maintain that positioning. Like when I first started, I put a pair of briefs on and like it was so ugly. I'm trying to deadlift and it like I couldn't get my feet out. I couldn't open up my hips and everything. And it took like years and years to figure out how to actually open up and build the abductor strength to maintain that position. But once you get used to that, then even now, if I squat raw, I can squat wide. I can get my abductors involved, and it's like a completely different squat than my how I used to squat years ago when I was a little outside shoulder width.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and especially briefs make it that much harder then too.
Oh
Where it's
yeah,
like
because
if
you're
the briefs
pushing
are
against
tight,
them,
it's like yeah,
and
it's like a
Yeah,
it's
cue
and
to
then
fold you in.
mhm.
and I always used to kind of pause in the hole, and it would kill me, because then I'd always fail, 3 inches above parallel, as soon as it starts to get hard. But like, I think that's because I was always making sure I could pack myself into the ball when I was down in the hole, because I was always worried I wasn't going to hit depth because I was just trying to
Mhm.
fold into myself. And I think staying open, keeping everything open, staying more upright. As soon as I hit depth, I can come up a lot faster because I'm going to have the confidence to know that I'm there. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does in my head.
Oh yeah, and
Do
not
do
only
your
that,
hips pinch? So like because I have the screws in my hips, I always feel the impingement in my hips because I don't have the mobility. So I don't know if you guys feel like your hips start to impinge when you hit depth because that's like my cue for going up.
Not
I'm so
really. The thing
reliant.
about me is like I can damn near do the splits. So like I got stupid mobile hips. It just like
Okay.
I'm just afraid to actually be strong, I think is my biggest problem.
Yep.
You need to
Okay.
measure your glutes, and I need to send you a pair of briefs after Lift Hard, Live Easy because if nothing else, it like with it pushing your knees in, it actively makes you push your knees out harder.
Hmm.
And like I said, that will carry over to like a wider raw squat and you'll be stronger. Like we have a guy in our crew and he's 3 weeks out from a raw meet I was talking about earlier. I think we weren't recording yet, but he's been a raw guy forever, and has been training and equipped us for the last year or so. And his raw squat now looks so different. And we actually had to tell him like, dude, you almost need to move your feet in a little bit because he was a little too wide. But like the strength and like the positioning and mobility that he's built up over the year from having that stimulus and everything, I think it's carried over a shit ton.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and if it's one of those things, like if you can get Bryce and maybe one other guy down there, like you're good spotters wise, and it'll teach you to be more upright, and you can become more of a high bar guy, even if you wanted to stay competing raw. I don't know. I'm biased, and I push it on everybody because I feel the way that I feel, and I'm passionate about it. But you know, to each
Well,
their own.
well, especially like for high bar, it might be better for him anyway. And especially where
Hmm.
he wants to dabble with jumps and stuff like that too, where staying upright is going to help more with stuff like that too.
Well, and back to his point about the speed in the hole, like not pausing it. You're more likely probably to get more squats through that might be borderline if you're moving faster because it's harder for them to see and you hope that they
Right.
give you the benefit of the doubt. Like that's just gaming the meat there and just treating it like sport.
Right.
I just do that little false chalk line on my hips. I draw a little line of
Yep.
chalk so it looks like I'm deeper than I am.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
That's all I
Or
do.
like if you see a lot of big guys squatting in gear, a lot of them do a quick little dip, like give them a 3-2-1 one, they hear one, they're an inch high, they'll dip down really quick and come up, and it might only be they went down another half inch instead of a full inch. But
Yeah.
like that quick acceleration and turnaround, like, oh, did he get there? Yeah, he sped up. He went down more after the guy gave him a one call. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, especially where like, and this is why I keep on harping on with Paul trying to move faster in the eccentric is like Randy Huntington, the sprint coach, had said when it comes to muscles, it's muscles set up joints to take advantage of the elastic properties of the musculature or of the body. So like if he's not going fast enough, you're not creating enough potential elastic potential energy to be able to rebound out of the hole anyway.
Well, yeah, I
Like
mean, look
you're
at
doing more work trying to hold yourself back rather than using gravity to your advantage.
how Ray Williams squatted. Like, if we want to talk about a sleeve raw squat, like he's so explosive. You know, he'd go down,
Oh yeah,
bam, and pop out of the hole. Like you're building that stretch reflex and everything, and it makes a huge
right.
difference. Which, you know, to your point, you know, with getting Paul into the box squats, like you're taking that away, so that way when you do go and you do your free squat, like there's nothing there stopping you. You bounce out of the hole, and that, you know, then you're loading the reps and you're getting more out of them than joint stability. You know, you need that rebound effect. Otherwise, like if you pause in the bottom with reps, they're not going to pop you up like they would if you're moving with some speed.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
and I think that's why I didn't get anything out of them before, because I just never I was just go down slow, sit there for a half second, and then come up, and it just like it completely defeated the purpose,
Mm-hmm.
And I
Right.
think now the box squats have definitely helped. Just like it's even for me, it's just the confidence of knowing like you can handle the weight on your back and it's going to be fine. And then it's helped me with my bench a lot too. The speed shit of just like dropping the bar down faster and not just slowly coming down, which I always did for just probably because I lift alone so much that I just didn't want to drop it on myself. But then I'm burning out my triceps, and now I can actually grind out a rep, whereas before I know I would have failed, but like I can hit my sticking point and keep pushing through. And, it just because I'm saving so much energy coming down.
Well, that's the thing
Well,
too, the total time of the lift being so much shorter, like you're not going to run out of gas at that lockout or when you're, 3 inches off your chest or whatever. If you are moving faster, like last year at Lift Hard, Leave Easy, Steve was there handing me out. He saw like I spent way, way, way too long trying to get that bar down and then ran out of gas to lock it out.
yep.
So, it just speeds everything, which there you go. You got your banded squats. They're forcing you those overspeed eccentrics and everything. That's all going to carry over. And it's obviously showing if your lifts are going up and you're feeling stronger and more powerful out of the bottom, already. And it's only
Well,
been, what, a couple months?
Right.
and especially like people that if you read like triphasic training by Cal Dietz, it's he went 85% for his like 4 second or 6 second eccentrics because they couldn't physically lift it back up. They have to have their spotters lift it back up because when they tried to go to 100%, everything just tears apart because trying to lower it at a 6 second tempo, you're not as strong because that's wasting away a lot of energy. And a lot of people that are doing these tempo things don't account for that, where it's like use the elastic properties of your musculature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're making yourself intentionally weaker.
I think we talked about this when we had Sammy on like a month ago or
Yeah.
so. And I
Yep.
was talking about with using like a slingshot type device on my bench
Yep.
just because it forced me to go faster and like, okay, I've got the weight in my hands. I've got the confidence because I have the support of the elastic rebound. Like just dive bomb that fucking thing and then
Yep.
blast it up faster. And it's carried over to raw lifting and, an equipped bench shirt that's not elastic for me,
Yeah.
tremendously over the last year.
And that's why Sammy does overload work with the slingshot too, where
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing where if you can move faster and feel that overload, and that's why I have like Paul and Matthew doing the boards because it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you can override the tendon reflex and make yourself not afraid to go fast, you're going to be stronger.
Here's a question for you with boards, Steve. Do you guys ever do foam boards so that it like compresses and then shoots out so you build a little bit of pop out of the foam? Or do you only use like, rigid wood boards? Because that's
I
something
o-
I've been using too.
I only have the blocks, so we
So,
only use the bench block.
gotcha. Yeah. So I made, they look like the Q-tips that the people
Yep.
fight on the balance beams out of Armaflex foam insulation and then just covered them in
Mhm.
Gorilla Tape. And like the one I have, like when it's not compressed, it's between a 4 and a 5 board, but you can sink into it down to like a 3. That's been one of my
Yep.
favorite like lockout training tools because you dive bomb down into it, you sink into that foam, and then you practice like rocking it up, almost like you're like flexing your abs and using your leg drive
Mhm.
out of the bottom, and it gives you that pop and that speed, and kind of it gives
So
you the overload of doing like a 3 board, but then you get like the acceleration of like a full range or not stopping on a hard board.
I don't remember which podcast it was, but it was with Zach Goodman and Michael Fahey, and they were discussing this because Zach would always do a 12-inch box with bumper plates for a box squat, and
Mm-hmm.
Fahey always wants grandma's couch, and he always wants it soft, and he wants you to sink in so that you flex just like that, where you're getting more out of it. And Zach wanted the hard box for the deformation and all of that, and didn't want to have the overload of using the elastic properties of, you know, being able to bounce out of it. And Fahey's counter argument was that it's not going to deform, or you're not going to be able to leverage enough of the elastic properties to get anything really valuable out of it too much. But I'm not sure on that one because I'm kind of with you on that one, where it's like, even if you have a placebo effect, there's something to that. So like
I think
I have two different boxes. So we have the same 12-inch box, but then I have a 6-inch foam pad that's just mattress foam, and then a 12-inch. And the 12-inch, when it's heavy enough, will be within 2 inches of the 6-inch when it comes to range of motion measured by the VVT device. But in your head, because you're sinking deeper and deeper, you feel like because you touch it higher, you're actually higher and you'll be able to do more and you'll like spring out of it more. But I don't really know.
See, the difference between like a hard box and a foam box, in my opinion, and I guess the way that I use it is because we always squat to like a little foam pad on
Yep.
top of a 14 and a half inch box because we're multiplying, we squat high.
Yep.
Um, is that the foam? It gives you the box, it gives you the confidence of like an extra spotter and there's something under you and a goal to hit. But I feel like with the foam, because you can sink into it, I can maintain my free squat form and go
Hmm.
to a box like a depth gauge versus like if I'm just trying to do like dynamic effort, like box squats, like that I can sit on a harder box or like in the foam ones. It's more just like save my tailbone a little bit from crashing into it with like a
Yep.
0.8 meter per second squat, like it hurts less,
In
but
my,
I can flex off of it harder when it is a rigid box.
Hmm.
But it kind of, I don't know if it's just like a cyclical or like you get burned out on something because in the raw days, like I had like a box squat progression that I would do like leading into a meet, and that was like my peak where I would, start with like say average bands or like a green band and go to a 17-inch box and I'd take a weight and I'd max out on that. Okay. And then next week would go pull 1 inch of mat and
Yep.
like I had that weight on my back. I took it down. I stood up with it. I can go 1 inch lower. And then you work your way down. And by the time you go from a 17 to a 14-inch box, you might end up 20 pounds lower. But then, okay, as you're getting closer to the meet, it would be, okay, we're going to go down to a purple band and then a monster
Yep.
mini. And then like a mini band off the box would be like the peak, for it. Like, okay, if whatever my max is off this box with a mini band, like that's a good like second attempt range.
Well, and especially with that too, a lot of that is the narrative that you're telling yourself that you believe is going to be more important than what you actually do.
Right. There was
Because
definitely a
if you
lot of
believe you can mostly do whatever you believe you can, And if that's a way to do more because you believe it, that's more important. So like with Paul and myself, we'll hit threes that feel like they're an RPE 9. Like you're redlining. Like there might be one more rep, but there's probably not. It's like a 9.5. And then a week later, you hit 5 reps
Mm-hmm.
because you're stronger now. And the only logical thing that goes through your mind is I'm stronger now. And you
Right.
get that done, and then you find out, oh, I really could have done this last week.
Right. It's you got to trick yourself, which is what I would do. Like, if I squat 3 inches high, I'm like, well, I can squat this. I don't get stapled.
Mhm.
I can stand back up with it. And, tapering it down, say over 4 weeks, going all the way down. It's like, well, it's only 1 inch deeper. Like I
Yep.
can do that. I did it before. Like, and that was in the solo basement days. Like,
Oh yeah.
so he didn't want to like go to like 103% of what I thought, like
Yep.
let's do a good grind, but like 1 more inch is no big deal. It's just another
Yep.
inch. You're not gonna, but
Yep.
if you go from a 17 to a 14 and you pull 3 inches at once, it's gonna rock your world, but week to
Well,
week you just got that
especially
little
where
bit
strength
stronger.
radiates that 15 degrees.
Right.
So like
Exactly. So
if it radiates, and that's what everyone claims. So like your standard deviations, like it could be 15 degrees, it could be 5, it could be 10. And I mean, your 1 rep max may vary 10% depending on dehydration, sleep levels, calories, everything, stress levels. Like if you have a bad day, let's say you're a 500-pound raw squatter, you have a bad day, you might only hit 450 that day.
hmm
So like
oh
all of
yeah.
your training adjustments need to adjust. And like mentioning that to Bryce, where it was like, dude, you're a 700 or 800 pound squatter. Like 5% is 40 pounds. So when he gets pissed off that he only hits 635 for 5, and it's like, bro, you if you have a bad day, 585 for 5 is still a win. It's still
Oh yeah.
90%.
Yeah, everybody else. I had a bad day today. I was doing so. I donated double units of red blood cells on Tuesday, so
Mm-hmm.
there was no dynamic lower or upper this week for me. And today was the first day training since then. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take it easy. Just do some triples with 5 plates off of the box. We had to do straight bar anyway, so I didn't want to go crazy heavy on it and crank my shoulders
Mm-hmm.
to hurt my bench. So, I did first triple, second triple, the third one. Like I stood up with my second rep and I started walking forward, like falling over. And like the guy running the mono had to slam it and put his whole body weight into the hooks to
Mm-hmm.
keep me from falling forward more. It's like sometimes that shit just happens, man. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't even do a triple with 5 plates, which is, say, 65, 70% for me. But like we're
Yep.
talking, you got to factor in all those other things. So
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it, especially,
Some days are diamonds and some days are coal, man.
dude, do you know how many times I dropped a 6 plate deadlift before I ever pulled 585? And like, and it was twice at Keith's. I went out there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a big deadlift day before Lift Hard, Live Easy. I remember last summer I did the same thing. I donated blood, and like that weekend I couldn't even freaking hold on to it. And then you go to the meet, you're all peaked, you're eating good, you're hydrated, and then I pull 600. I'm like, I bypassed the 585 pull by 15 pounds just by like taking care of myself and everything. But it definitely gets in your head, especially on a deadlift.
Mm-hmm. So Scance, we haven't talked about it, but you hit a big log PR, didn't you?
Yeah, 10 pounds on a log. I pride myself on following the program, but everything was going well. And I had 235 was the top single I was supposed to do. And I was like, about a month ago, I was shooting for a 245 to 250. And
Mm-hmm.
everything, well, like we were talking about, everything was going great. I hit the 235 and I'm like, fucking 250's there. So I said, you know what? I'll take the 245 and then I'll lock that in and then I might go for 255. And yeah, I cleaned it like 3 times. I got caught halfway up. And so this was a month ago. So the other day things were going good and I'm like, fucking, you're loading. I'm putting 10 pounds on and Yeah, it went up with a shitty. I've been push pressing for the last few months there, just in the off season, just to work
Mhm.
on getting stronger. I normally push jerk and just kind of cheat the system a little bit. And I only started back push jerking last week, so I'm still friggin' rusty as shit. So with almost zero pop, I squeaked that out. So Team Jake is he's sorting out my shoulders, man.
There you
Well,
go.
that's awesome. And
Yeah,
like you take that
Now the
win when you
max weight
got
on
it.
the log went up for the lift hard, live easy.
I've been calling for it the entire time. As soon as they load it, dude. As soon as they called the first weights, I'm like, too light. Those weights are too light. Well, as I said, I've got in April. I've got our provincials, and we've got a max rep log for at 215. So
Okay.
that's lightweight masters. That's friggin' under 231. So when they announced the weights for the open masters for lift hard live easy, I'm like, this should be 215 or 220.
What was the weight that they did?
We're doing 200. It's going to go up. I guarantee it's going to go up.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, like we got Big Andrew Garrison, who is just like he's taken a strong man like a duck to water, man. So the last year he's
Yep.
just been like his numbers are going through the roof. He's a friggin' wrecking machine. So I'm like, he's 275. He's a big lad.
Yep.
So I'm like, he can't do 200 pounds. That's a friggin' joke.
No.
That's joke weight. So, but
I think it'll be interesting too now with this year having so many more competitors in strongman will really deepen the pool, and we can see what these people have that are making the switch over to strongman that maybe did
and
powerlifting before because they couldn't get in. That'd be really exciting, and the
it's
fact
good
that
for
it's
it.
not after I just did a meet, so I can actually watch it and pay attention because I think we've talked
Yeah.
about this before. Like we were all so cooked
Oh
after doing the
yeah.
meet, and I only did push pull. Like I had like no mental capacity like to
Oh my
watch
God.
that. I'm
I tried to
really
announce
looking forward to it.
that competition and I was fucking cooked. I was
Hmm.
just trying to stay focused. And Lydia was laughing. She's like, you keep repeating the same friggin' lines. I'm like, babe, I'm barely hanging on. So,
Well, and not to mention too, like even if you're not lifting, like watching a powerlifting meet with people that you care about and like want
yeah.
to see do well is going to drain you because your
Oh
adrenaline's going
yeah.
to be up for them. You're going to be yelling and screaming when they're
Oh, yeah.
squatting or finishing that last deadlift and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it really makes you tired. Like in the first lift hard live easy, like I remember, especially first time meeting a lot of these people in person, like Jen and Murph and all them, like watching them squat, like I'm getting
Exciting.
tired and I haven't even touched the bar in the warm up room yet because I'm, blowing my wad, just yelling for everybody.
Yeah.
So to be able to, hopefully cheer them on and, still have some gas left in the tank for Saturday, it'll be really exciting.
Well, I was like last year, man, friggin' I was in I was shagging weights for the boys in the warm ups for squats, and I was wrapping knees, and I had to go get changed, man. I was sweating so goddamn hard. I'm like, I got a friggin' strongman competition in like 3 hours, boys. I should
Yeah.
probably not be doing this, but I'm like, it's the same thing. I wanted to be there and cheering the guys and girls on and having some fun with it. So, but
Oh yeah. And like this year, like I'm a little sad that Jess isn't competing, but it'll be a lot less stressful. Like 2 years ago when we both did full meets together, like we were on the same platform, which helped, but it was still like with 3 flights, like not a lot of time. And I'm
yeah,
worried about her more than myself. And even last year, like she was on the other platform and they were like half a flight ahead of us. And it was like I felt bad for her because she did not get the attention from me that she deserves in order to have a good meet. And I'm half, you know,
well,
focused over there, not paying
it's a rough
attention
one
to
going in with
myself.
a couple like that. You both want to. You're
Yeah.
both. Well, fuck, dude. When Lydia and I were still both doing bodybuilding shows, it is a very you have to be very you have to be very selfish. Like
Hmm.
everything is about, you know, it was very difficult if only one person was working up for a show and not because it's like, let's go see a movie. Well, you can't because there's two meals involved or you have to take meals with you and all that kind of stuff. So it was a very you have to be very self-centered for it. Selfish is the only word, right? Because
Yeah.
everything, all
Oh
the
yeah.
small impacts you, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
so it
Well,
was a little
especially with
easier.
that where it's 24/7 too.
Yeah. I mean, and look, that was God. We'd be doing cardio an hour a day plus another hour and a half to 2 hours of lifting. Like it was very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you didn't have a good support network, like I had
Mhm.
a friend of mine. She was training up for her first one, and her husband was an absolute fucking prick. She'd be like, "Yeah, he came home Friday night from drinking beer with the boys with a couple of pizzas and all this kind of shit." And she's like a month out from a competition, and he's like waving pizza, and I was just like, I'd
Mm.
literally hit him with a brick. Like that's just ridiculous, right? So, but it was,
Yeah.
but anyways, it helped with both Lydia and I doing it. So if she was doing a comp and I wasn't, I could just be there to support her on everything and let her sit and all that kind of stuff, right? If the two of you are doing it on one day, it was very difficult because you wanted to make sure she was taken care of and she's timing all her, food intake during the day and catching a pump before you go out and making sure all the fucking paint and all that makeup stuff is all sorted right. So it makes for a
Oh
hard day
yeah.
if you don't got a little
Especially
team,
like
especially with your multiply or even single ply, for God's sake.
right, and like especially on competition day, like you said, you kind of have to be selfish, and it's
Yeah,
hard when you don't have like your people. Like if Jess and I, we do a push pull locally, but we have our whole team with us, like
yeah,
it's not a big deal because there'll be two, three people there at least that aren't lifting that are there just to hand out and make sure everybody's
Mhm.
where they're supposed to be and
yeah,
stuff. So like we're going over there and it's like it's tough to find people or doing the Arnold meet last year. Okay, I had Jess there with me. I had my buddy Steve, and I had somebody there, another girl who's a local lifter. She came out to shoot pictures and videos for me all day and did an awesome job. But like, where's my third handout guy? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I had to find somebody there. Like, hey, dude, you're here handling somebody else. How do you feel about doing a 3-man handout just to
yeah,
guide me out and keep it stable and stuff? It's like those little things like that are tough. And
yeah,
then when you don't have access to all those people, plus like I want Jess to have a good time, and like she doesn't love competing like I do. Like she just loves the training and to
yeah.
just be like with the guys and talking shit and everything. But
Mhm.
if she was going to do a meet, I'd want to be able to like fully pay attention to her and
Yep.
everything. And like it's one of those things like after walking out the squats and like her going like an inch below parallel and still getting red lights because her joint angles look different than the judges are used to. We were like,
Yeah.
oh well, we'll just do bench only or push pull or something, and that was still too much. Like the way it was, and probably looking back on it, you know, Dave stuff aside, like at that meet last summer, like Dave and I are cool. I don't think I have a problem with him now, but
No.
I should have talked to him and like, dude, we got to change some things around so that her and I can be on the same platform. So at least the
Yeah.
timing would have been better instead of
Yeah.
like you have half a flight between each of us.
Yeah.
Well, and realistically, even like if it was a year like this year, now I'm being an idiot. I'm doing the full powerlifting meet there too. But if I wasn't, my full intent on Saturday was I've already told a couple of the guys, yeah, I'll wrap your knees, I'll take care of every dudes. I'm whatever you guys
Mhm.
need on Saturday, I'm there for it, right? Because I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm just hanging out, could be drinking beer and friggin' wrapping knees. So, but
It's tough too, though, because like, don't get me wrong, I love to wrap knees, but I know that I smoke the shit out of my upper back when I wrap knees.
oh,
Like,
Oh
100%.
yeah.
and like, and not even really worrying about the hands so much, but it's just like the rear delts and everything.
Yeah,
Like that first year when we went out there and like Dylan wrapped my knees, Andy's wrapping your knees. Did you
yeah,
wrap your knees too, Steve?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, this dude's also going for a big bench. I'm like, Dylan, I don't want you wrapping my knees in the warm up room or like for my opener. Like I'll self wrap for my opener
Yep.
and then second and thirds. And I think the second year I just planned on self wrapping myself the whole time because
yeah,
I didn't want to take away from his meet. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
spent time and money and everything to go out there and God bless him. I love him for it, but I'm not going to take advantage of that. Even though you put any of us in his shoes, we'd be like, hell yeah, dude, whatever you need, because
yeah.
that's what we do for each other. But at the same time, you have to be a little selfish. And
Well, and I felt bad because I don't have a lot of experience wrapping knees. So it was like I felt bad for Florian last year. I know I didn't do
Oh
a great
yeah.
job wrapping his knees for him. He had a lot more in the tank, but he had nobody else to wrap knees. So I'm like, I got the concept. And there was a couple. I'm like, fuck's sake, I just missed the friggin' turn here. Okay, I got to go
Yeah.
back and like, and
Well,
God bless
that's like
his, you know,
I
he's
I've
patient. But
only I've only wrapped my own knees other than like I had Dylan wrap that 1 year, but like for the most part I just wrap my own knees because I don't know if I wrap tight or not.
yeah,
And like I've wrapped for Pat when he smoked 600, but like he had never experienced knee wrap, so it was like, oh, okay, I'll just you know I'll give you a 7 out of 10, and it's
yeah.
his legs are turning purple. Cool.
mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, I could wrap somebody who was very little experience, but like, there's no way I've got the skills to wrap. You know,
Right.
I couldn't wrap you. Jesus Christ, there's no way I'm rapping Dylan or Bryce or something like that. You know, but if
Right.
it's their first one, if it was me, yeah,
Yep.
at my level, yeah, I could easily wrap that because you're not. It's not like I'm losing 60 pounds because of a shit rap job, right? So
Right.
And it's like one of those things where like I don't foresee this happening. Certainly not now that they've broke ties with the other Fed and everything. But like, if there was a world where Lift Hard, Live Easy had model lifts, like I would have to find a way to bring people out there because
Yeah.
if I have all my gear on, I physically can't wrap my knees. Like I would be ready to
yeah,
pass out by the time I was done. You
yeah, you
know,
Oh
can't.
yeah.
like single ply, it's no big deal. I'll bend over, I'll leave my straps down and just pull them up, whatever. But like you got all
Yeah,
that material on you, like it adds. And I like the gamesmanship of trying to dial in all those variables and like being able to learn from guys that have been doing this since the freaking 90s and stuff. Like they got
yeah,
it down and I just put my trust in them at this point. But
Hmm.
you don't always have that depending on where you go to for a meet.
yep,
Well, like even where I backed out of the Arnold too, and it's like I'm like kicking myself for that, but at the same time I'm like debating whether or not to find a local meet because it's like when it's only 20 minutes away from your house, and especially an RPS meet with the 65-pound Iron Wolf bar, where it's like I know I can get 30 pounds out of that just by it being a 38 millimeter bar. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like
I mean, if you can get like Jamie's got to do meets down by you, right? Jamie Matta.
I think so.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal meet director. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of his RPS meets. Like they're
We get
not they're well ran and they're fairly judged. Like you're not going to see like that old like, oh, it's RPS, everybody squats 3 inches high. Like he runs a tight meet and
Yep.
does a really good job, which,
I think it was Alex Omand that always wore the
okay.
kilt. He normally does it because I think he has all of the bars that Gene Reichlich used to use.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
because
I
maybe you're
try to
close
use
enough
his.
to like that Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland RPS scene.
Well,
They might come
he's
up for you.
he's out of Massachusetts,
Oh, okay.
but
Gotcha.
but yeah, because I don't remember. I might have done one. I might have one RPS meet since Gene had passed, but for the most part, it was always like my first single ply meet was with Gene.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so like as I didn't have my elbows, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just as long as your elbow can, you can see your elbow, you're good." And my,
Hmm.
my shirt's 3 inches way too loose, and but it was like, dude, first dude to bench 900 was, or even 1,000, I think, right? Was Gene. So
Um, yeah, I can't remember. I have to watch Power Unlimited again to get my
yeah,
facts right.
yeah,
I'm
he,
too
not
he
the
was
old.
worst.
definitely 900,
Yeah.
but I mean, he was awesome because it was like my first meet back after the leg injury. I had emailed him and was like, my leg is wrapped up in like gauze and everything else, and there's scabs and like it's got to be wrapped up almost to my knee. Can I still compete? I'm like planning on just squatting the bar. I ended up squatting 425, but he's like, whatever's going on with your leg, we can accommodate you. It was like awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. And so I've been I've been doing a lot of thinking and especially with recent memories of it was like 2 years ago this week that I did my first full power multiply meet, and it's been my only full power that I need to do another one. I've been
Yep.
doing so many single ply meets that I think I finally picked one out, and hopefully it'll be good. I think I might do another Metal Militia one, which I'll tell you what, like I used to think that they were kind of like a backyard fed or like they had SPF
Yeah.
standards. Like they have some of the tighter, depth standards in all of multiply meets that I've seen out there. So
Okay.
I'll be looking forward to that. Alex Shaw's running it. Do you know Alex Shaw, Steve?
I don't.
Yeah, he's from like Warren, Pennsylvania area, but he trains on Sundays down at Pharrell's place with Jimmy and stuff. I think
Okay.
he's got to be close to 1,000 pound bencher, if not more. I mean, but
Wow.
awesome dude. And last September, he ran his first meet in Warren, Pennsylvania, which for me, it's only like a 2 hour drive. Like that's not a big deal. Like
Mhm.
we had a good crew that came out for the guy who did the meet to help him out and stuff. I think we had like 4 or 5 people there helping them. So I should be able to hopefully put something together. And also, like, just looking timeline wise, you know, it was like that, or there's Jamie does an RPS meet in Rochester
Yep.
where Keith and Chris train strongman, but that meets in October. Well, I'm looking at the calendar for September, and I got Highland games locally. Plus, there's Eddie's games in September, so I almost
Yes.
need to get a meet in before that, so I'm not throwing twice while I'm trying to peak for a meet would just completely destroy my meet prep, I think. So,
Yep.
we'll see what happens. No promises yet, but at least I got something in the back of my mind to start working for.
We gotta find a meet next year. We'll all plan a meet. Well, I mean, obviously, live hard, live easy, but like, I want a mono too.
Yeah, like
That's
there's plenty of them like in like Utica, New York is like 4 hours from me. It's probably 4 hours from you
yeah,
too, Steve.
yeah,
That
probably.
that could be cool. I wish Rita West was still running meets out there because the XPS meets are awesome. They're super lifter friendly, but
Yeah.
like a solid meet. And that's why we do all of the push pulls that she puts on because she's been a multiply lifter forever. Like she totally gets it. And like when
Hmm.
Jess did her first equip bench meet there, like Rita was so happy to see like this is what I want to see more women wearing bench shirts and everything. Like it's cool. So we'll have to find something next year and like, plan it 6 months out or whatever. And like I said,
Yeah,
I'm almost with that meet, in September, doing like one or two bench meets this spring should hopefully kind of tee me up and get some good practice in before that meet because the bench is where I need all the help I can get.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Be like me, be not very strong, so you can just do meets every friggin' other weekend, man.
Man, I could. It just wouldn't be my best. I mean, because like we max out and do some goofy stuff every week. I don't know, it was like last week or 2 weeks ago when we did reverse light bands, but they didn't touch the bar until you were 2 inches below your lockout, and then there was like 110 in chain on the
Oof.
safety bar too. So like you went down and it got light, 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 and then you'd get to like that last little bit of the top, and it got like 100 pounds heavier in a 2 inch range of motion. It was awful. What the numbers mean and what it carries over to a real squat, I couldn't tell you, but man, that was freaking hard.
Yeah. See, that always drives me nuts where it's like, even with the bands, we just started using them again. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out how much, like, I don't care about what the weight is at the top, and I don't really care about what it is at the bottom, as long as there's still tension.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to thread that needle of like, right now I've got the average bands and just going with that. And the only goal is to try and get up to your 5 rep max with the bands of what your straight weight is. So if you come within 50 pounds, you're doing pretty well.
Oh yeah, and I think we talked about this before that like Hoff says accommodating resistance isn't real, and like if you
Yeah.
can squat it with 2 chains, you can squat it with 5 chains, and I'm like
Yeah.
maybe for him, you
Well,
know.
well, well, his mentality, and this is where like talking to Fahey, it's like it goes back to what we talked about before with the belief system. Because if you tell yourself that story and you believe it, then you're going to get the progress of that, even though that's a lie, because you believe it.
We're just
So
really good at gaslighting ourselves into being
yeah,
better.
yeah, that's exactly it. That's the
Just
magic.
Hmm.
just Cole Parter.
Paul, that's
Lift
I'm
hard,
telling
cope
you,
harder.
Paul, you're a 400-pound bencher all day. You just haven't done it yet.
Just haven't done it yet. That's the key word.
Yep, it's in
I
there.
think not benching 110 reps every workout probably is helping me get stronger. Actually, like hitting heavy weights more often to like get used to the stimulus instead of doing 10 sets of 10 up until 6 weeks before a meet. And then it's like, oh, now you're going to drop down to do some sixes, some fours, and then 2 weeks out, you're going to do a heavy double and call it.
Dude,
The funniest one was
can't underestimate the mental game, man, of getting just used to. It's like doing some of the sandbag carries and stuff like that. It's getting used to not being able to breathe and not
Hmm.
panicking.
the funniest one was Matthew sent me a video, and it's his top set of Wednesday morning. He's deadlifting with Big Lou, and he had crashed out at like 540 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and he's all upset because like 570 just wouldn't move. And I was like, yeah, that'll happen. Shit day. It's early in the morning. Like I can't pull. I would not try and pull more than 300 pounds before 10 a.m. Like it's just
Yeah.
not going to happen. And he's like getting real upset. I'm like, all right, cool. What we're gonna do next week? You're gonna pull that same 540 that you did, but you're gonna do it for a double. And then this past week, he pulls it for three, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. And in the video, you hear him say, "God damn it! I wanted it to be hard. I didn't want it to be easy." And then you just hear Lou in the background, and he goes, "Oh no, you're getting stronger."
I love it.
Yeah. It was like just the perfect reassurance because he's like, he'll be 2.5 weeks out on Wednesday, and that'll be his last pull, where he's going to pull like 573 to 585, and we're going to call it there. It's in between his first and second attempt, and we're going to see how the chips fall because we're basically just training through this meet.
What meat is he doing?
He's doing a
Some
USAPL
USAPL
meet.
meet.
Uh,
Yeah, so we're February 21st is that meet. So
right,
we're
because I
basically
think
just rebuilding his squat and then building a bench press because
He has no bench press.
yeah. So
I
his
feel like
at the Lift Hard
last
Live
year.
Easy, he hit 303. So it was like, oh god damn it, we need to fix that.
While weighing 300 pounds.
Yeah. So we're well, it's he doesn't have the triceps. Like with youth too, it's like the low hanging fruit is just train your triceps and you're gonna bench.
Yeah, but at least you can see my triceps on my arm.
Hey, Paul, are you doing JM presses at all
Yes.
with the safety bar?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have bamboo bar or PVC pipe?
No, but I can buy a PVC pipe and make a bar.
Do you have chains in
Bryce
your
has a
gym or
bamboo
no?
bar. No, but I can get some chains. That's not a huge deal.
So JM presses on a bamboo bar or a PVC pipe with all chains for super high reps. Phenomenal tricep finisher. Like, do that like as one of your last accessories. Like you will obliterate them and you'll pump so much blood into the elbow because like right when you're like all the way back and stretched and everything, a lot of that chain deloads on the floor. That's I did that for a really I've been doing it more
So
with like swinging kettlebells, but like an all chain like JM press is phenomenal.
but this is my rant that I wanted to talk to Dylan about too. Because like in the book, I actually like ranted about the German volume training, like a 10 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give
Because
it all away to us now. We're waiting for our copies to get here.
right, so the last page, I'm going to spoil this part. There's 80 pages. I'm only spoiling one, but
The butler did
I
it.
just go off on we don't want to create or promote type 1 muscle fibers if we're trying to get strong. We want everything to be biased towards type 2 fibers and we want to recruit all motor units. So if we're doing 50% or 60% with German volume training, because if you go too heavy, if you go 70%, you're gonna fail. So you're obviously taking lighter weights where the motor units are lazy. So they're only going to engage the type 1 muscle fibers and the you know lower intensity units. So you're not actually engaging the stuff that you're going to need when you hit a 1 rep max. So you're not training the things that you want to try and build and make more efficient. So what you want to do with your accessories is stay in that, like type 2 muscle fibers near failure and hit it hard, but you can go up to like 8 reps or whatever. Sometimes, smaller muscles that, you do need to build, you have type 1 fibers anyway. So you're going to want to build those, but like not as frequently. Like all of your main accessories, like the big builders, like your triceps, go heavy, low rep sets, less than 8 reps or whatever, 3 or 4 hard sets and get out. And then like obviously like rear delts, then have at it with your high rep stuff. But where a lot of people go wrong with like triceps is they're hitting those high reps just to feel the pump. And it's like that pump isn't what you want for your triceps. You want to build, efficiency.
I guess, Steve, when I'm talking about those, I'm talking about doing that as like the last lift in your training session after you've done your max effort lift. And then maybe you did some Spoto presses like for triples, like heavy ones.
Yep.
And then you go hit your lats, your rear delts, do some biceps, like maybe some shoulder raises. When you have nothing left in you, that's when I hit those JM presses and then just pump them full of blood. And then also do it more for like tendon development, you know what I mean, to build some resilience in the elbow. But not like, I'm not doing that for something heavy, I guess. But it's I think building that strength and stability in the elbow, especially with something like all chains where it's flopping around or like hanging kettlebell JM presses, like you really lock in so much harder and it puts more strain on them in a way that like you can tell you're breaking down fibers but not overstressing them because you've already like pre-exhausted them with everything else you've done in the training session leading up to that.
But didn't you also have a tricep strain?
Are you talking with the chains or earlier?
Earlier.
Oh, of course you will earlier. I'm talking more like it almost helps.
Just wants to feel like a bodybuilder, Steve. Let him feel like a bodybuilder. He wants to feel like a bodybuilder.
I'm doing it for the tendon development, especially myself, who's like, I'm 4 weeks post tricep tear here.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. You have a tricep tear because you did so much that you couldn't recover from.
Well, the reason I tore my tricep, talking to my chiropractor, is because I was doing 10 sets of 10 with the bamboo bar against doubled lights and a hanging chain. Spoto presses, no less.
Without a gram of testosterone in your system.
Yes,
and
you're throwing so much shit at the wall that you can't actually recover from.
Dude.
Well, here's the thing. That's why you skip your dynamic days.
Just do some push-ups.
Oh man,
right?
and what I really think sealed the deal on that frickin' tricep was on the 10th set or the 10th rep of the 10th set, I held it in the bottom like 2 inches off my chest for like 25 seconds or something like that. And then imagine that I wake up the next day and my fucking elbow's purple.
Well, so this is my next rant.
Your squat plug shot across the room and you tore your tricep.
Dude, no, that was me in my shirt last weekend. I was talking about it. Holy shit. I laid down on the bench and I was farting on the guys, and then I get my arch set and I fart on them, and I grab the bar and I fart on them like, holy shit, I guess my body's really tight right now. That's a good thing. It's going to be a good bench.
You need the squat plug in there to build more pressure, more abdominal pressure. You throw the squat plug in there.
I need a nurse to insert it for me before my meet. Are you willing to come out?
If only I knew a nurse that could do something like that.
Yeah. Talk to Bryce for me.
Don't worry. I know a guy. His name's Bryce. He's really good at that.
Yeah, he has smaller hands than me.
Yeah.
Well,
Smaller, weaker hands.
while we're on the
Dainty.
subject, Steve, not squat plugs, but triceps and arms, and you've brought up Dylan. How do I get my arms as big as Dylan's? Have any of us figured that out?
Be shorter in the same weight.
Oh, that's it. I'll put myself in a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
press.
It all comes down to leverages. That's why every bodybuilder is 5'3".
God.
So
But I'm
then,
like,
Wait, boys, take that, you 6-footers.
and I know what size shirts Dylan wears typically because he's told me he's like 44s or 46s. I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I can barely fit my arms and I don't have arms in 48s. I'm like, how freaking
oh
tight are
yeah,
these shirts that this
It's
guy's wearing?
perspective, buddy.
Oh my God.
It's all
I
it's
got a lot of
allometric
respect for that.
scaling. It's
He
allometric
gets all
scaling. As you go up, you get bigger.
he
That's
gets
why Bryce
lubed
is
up and he
380.
hops in that tight shirt. Yeah, Bryce is a svelte 380.
He moves like the wind.
I could not believe the picture that he sent of him at 275, where it looked like he was like anorexic.
It looks
Where's that
ridiculous.
in the
That sounds
DMs?
horrifying.
It's in the Mick. We have a Mick
yeah.
Foley chat. The three faces of Mick Foley is me, Steve, and Bryce.
Good God. I gotta see him at friggin' 275.
It's like he shit out a whole nother human.
And then there's like 6 months later, there's a picture of him at 320. It's just like still no arms.
No.
Yeah, his Bulkamania phase, and there's still no arms.
Yeah, he started calling himself Bulk Hogan, and his arms are still the same size.
The funniest was when I went on the rant here, and then he listens to it. He's like, Steve, I think you were right. I need to push the second accessory harder.
Imagine that. Or you could be like me and max effort days have no accessories because I'm always in a hurry.
It works until it doesn't.
If you max hard enough, that is an accessory. The crash out to follow is the accessory.
Yeah, then you tear your tricep. It makes perfect sense.
The strongest guy in our crew, he does a max effort squat variation, no back downs, no accessories, one heavy bench, and a couple back down rep sets on bench, and that's it. And the dude's got like 20-inch arms on him, and that's all he trains. I know I'm not him. He's just a giant ball of fast twitch muscle fiber, the most explosive guy I've ever seen. Like, dude can squat 800 pounds in briefs and bare knees. I'm like, oh God, I just wish you would do a meet so you could squat 1,000. This is disgusting.
I can't do laundry in bare knees, for fuck's sake.
Oh, it's fucking insane. It just every week, like I think I'm having a good week, and like he just shits all over me in less gear. I'm like, this ain't even fair. I'll never catch him. Yeah. I'm trying though.
I keep telling Bryce I'm going to outbench him and out deadlift him someday, but that's probably not going to happen either.
Never know.
No, I'm getting under his skin with that.
With the arms?
No, not with the arms, but just like saying I'm catching you. Or what was it? 2 weeks ago, I think it was, where he made the mistake of DMing Christo, and Christo has to deal with my shit all the time. So like Christo's getting really good at like chirping him back. And at one point Bryce had to give up because Christo was too quick.
Gotta respect the kid for that.
Yeah, Christo's just like, yeah, I can never beat Steve because he's just way too schizophrenic, but like everyone else I can just house. I was like, yes, that's the important thing.
Yeah, who cares what he lifts as long as he can,
as long as you can chirp other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you can be mean.
That's why he comes here.
See, I got the best of both worlds. Not only is Jess strong, but she's also extremely mean to me.
Yeah, but you like it.
I do.
God, I can't wait to see her rage sweeping at this year's Lift Hard, Live Easy.
Oh, well, that was like, we talked about that the other day, like when she's talking about how like she's not competing. She's glad it's on Saturday. And like she volunteered, or on Friday, I'm sorry. And she volunteered on Sunday too. But she's like, it was such a mess last year with like, you know, the back and forth of handling each other, and then like she just didn't eat all day. So like I don't know if you've ever been around a woman who hasn't eaten enough, but you put that on top of everything else, and
Dude,
the
Lydia used to do bodybuilding, remember?
yeah, exactly.
It is
So I'm
control
like,
nation.
and you know, my fault. Like here I am, I'm competing, I'm being selfish. Like I'm not like, hey, can I get you something to eat? Do you want an uncrustable or anything? Like, yeah, she's gonna take all her anger out on the broom. So hopefully things are a little more calm this year. And you know, God
Nope.
bless her.
I'm not
There's
happy.
definitely,
She's rage sweeping.
yeah, the superiority complex. She is a better helper, and she wants everybody to know it. And there will be no doubt in your mind when it's over.
She's help maxing.
Absolutely.
I can't
The
wait to DM
opposite
her.
of
Hey, you
us.
should listen to this week's episode.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, you're gonna get me in trouble even more.
Yeah, when's she getting on the pod? That's the real question.
Right?
I mean,
Open
we'll
invite
set it
anytime.
up. You know,
I'll DM her. That way she knows that she's invited and it's not just you.
she's invited. I wonder if she's awake right now. I should get her to come down here and talk shit. She'll be so mean to me, and it'll be on video proof, so that way people will believe. You know,
That that
Good.
you're the
Text her.
battered spouse.
something like that. It's okay.
Why-
It's consensual.
It's
Blink twice if it's not.
2026. It's
I'll never forget.
2026. He's the oppressed one.
Like, not to go too off the rails, but this had to be like 5, 6 years ago or something. Like she looks me dead in the eyes, like she's angry, like you know, steam coming out of the ears, and she's like, "It's like it doesn't even phase you when I'm mad at you." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, you're always mad at me. I get scared when you're nice to me. That's the most terrifying time. Then I don't know what to expect." I like it when things are, you know, homeostasis. Like, wife's mad at me, kids driving us nuts. You know, not enough sleep.
Yep.
All right, drink a half gallon of Diet Coke and we're good to go. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what are you going to do between now and Lift Hard, Live Easy if you're not going to the Arnold?
I don't know. I need to find something because like the squat is moving really well right now.
Are
And
you
that's
going to go to
He's gonna do it.
South
He's gonna do a
Dakota?
novice strongman. He's gonna do a
Are you
novice strongman.
are you going to come this year, Steve? If you're not going to the Arnold, have you thought about that?
no, I won't be able to make it.
Oh, okay,
It's as
gotcha.
much as I want to.
You are a
Yeah,
firm every other
too
year
many
kind of
days.
guy.
Yeah, I gotta go for the odd years, keep myself,
Yeah.
odd.
Hmm.
I don't want to be evened out,
No,
be
we're going
weird.
there to do the odd lifts anyway.
I might I might be able to sneak by the Crew Falls though. That's what I'm gunning for this year. That way we get our jackets together.
I will need to financially buckle down to make that happen.
That that's
And
where I that's where I'm at right now. So I'm part
yeah.
time. So this podcast is brought to you by my book, Griddle and Gains. Buy it.
Don't be an
Fuck Crew
Shameless
asshole.
Falls
self
for it.
promotion. It will make
Potentially,
me stronger.
It
potentially
will fund
depending on
me
what
and
my
Matt
life.
going to Crew Falls. We are staying at the Shim.
Well, yeah, if depending on how my life looks in December of this year, you may be able to stay at my house.
Ooh, sleep
So
in
There
the
at
you go,
least
shit.
Steve.
Well,
that
we
would
don't want to
save
stay at
you.
your house. We want to stay at the Shim.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the backyard. You can flip on the propane heater anytime you want.
You got a,
I would suggest
carbon
cracking the
monoxide
door.
detector?
No, why would I
Perfect.
have one of those?
Don't crack
I'll
the
sleep
door.
really good then.
Nah, I'm straight.
If you crack the door, then you miss the fumes that help you get back to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the burning
But
means the heater's working, man.
That's it.
hmm I am gonna get close. I should have my 14th check mark in April this year for 4
Nice.
years. So I'm making my way through the podcast. You wouldn't believe it, but you can actually listen at 2.0 speed and understand Tyler. it took a few episodes to get it down, but like now it just seems normal. So I'm ripping through that backlog. I gotta knock that out by the time I hit my 4 years. I've been
I
telling
will get
myself
my
that a while.
jacket. I will get my jacket at the Arnold this year, so you'll be in good
That's
company
awesome.
when you finally get it.
Yeah, that especially with like how deep the pool is and the fact that they don't really run contests nearly like they used to.
Oh
It's
yeah.
No.
almost like you got to get like one of the wooden plates at Lift Hard Leave Easy is almost your best shot
Yeah.
at an award these days. But you know,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not silly enough.
I've won two grip tournaments, and I've won Silliest Goose. So I've won 3 contests. I don't know what everybody else is fucking complaining about.
I know even Jess has won a contest and I haven't.
I've been in it so long that like there was only like Nate and mostly squat videos, Matt competing. So like you got like the runner up T-shirt years
Mhm.
ago.
Oh my God.
Otherwise,
Back in the days when it was like 18 submissions, like, holy
yeah,
shit.
oh
Right.
yeah.
And they
Otherwise, I would have
talked
been so
about every
screwed.
single one on the podcast. You got to get a full recap of everybody's
Yeah.
entry in the contest.
Oh
Think about
yeah.
if they did an open submission contest right now, how many submissions they would get.
Well,
Jesus.
even just look at how many people posted 29 rep sets for Edmund Fitzgerald last fall. There had to be
Yeah.
like hundreds of them that I saw, you know,
Well, that also
crazy.
blew up just like culturally too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like
Well,
when
and
the
the
I did
boys are in the
19,
29.
spot too.
I did
There's a lot
30
of people
push-ups in a bar.
that I don't even know, how did that come out? How did that friggin' start? Who the fuck is putting their hands on a bar floor?
I don't know. Those
well,
Miller
see,
Lights were involved. Anything's possible.
you got down there and the floor was so sticky that you couldn't peel your hands back up. So you might
Might
as
have
well
been
stay
it.
down there, huh?
Yeah, I think somebody put a bunch of tacky down there.
God, nasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get on my hands and knees in the zoo. I can tell you that much.
No.
I have only ever worn flip flops there or Birks, so I don't know what everybody else is afraid of.
Oh, God. I hope you
I'm a
got some
strictly I'm a
antifungal.
I'm a strictly open toed shoes guy, so
Man, I don't know. I feel like other than when you're at a meet or something, then like whatever. But I'm a big proponent that men shouldn't have their toes out in public.
hey,
See, dude, I have worn boots and uniforms for so long. That's why if it's above 0 degrees, I'm wearing a kilt and flip flops. I don't even care. I hate friggin'. I've been wearing leg prisons and foot prisons for decades. No, I'm not doing it anymore.
have
You can
you
get away
Matt?
with it, Scants. I'll give you a pass.
Have you ever had a nice pair of broken in Birkenstock sandals where you could just walk around in them all day and it doesn't hurt your feet at all? I went to
So
New
I have,
Orleans and I wore nothing but my Birks and I walked like 10 miles a day.
yeah, I
I
got
only wear barefoot
plantar
shoes or
fasciitis.
Crocs.
So
You got to get a pair of
Barefoot shoes or Crocs, man. I
Hey,
wear my Crocs.
the Germans do a couple things really really well. Birkenstocks is one of them.
I get
I'm
these.
glad that you finished that sentence the way you did, Paul.
I have these.
That could have gone off the rails, but it didn't. We're
Yeah,
good.
proud of you.
No, I
Maybe
get
I'll
these
get a pair.
called UFOs. They're supportive because of my fasciitis. Like I can't stand barefoot for. I'm good for about 4 minutes, and then I got to sit down if I'm barefoot. So Birkenstocks are too hard. So I have these. I came across this small company, UFOs they call them,
Yeah,
and
I got some coworkers that wear UFOs at work. They have like
yeah,
clog versions and tennis shoe versions, and I like
yeah,
them. I wear
I
Birkenstock
can,
like polyurethane clogs at work because I like the
yeah.
cork footbeds and like I've got huge wide feet and they're just so much more comfortable. My knees and back don't hurt, which is goofy because they're flat. It's just standing on cork and rubber. It's
Yeah.
like no give, but I don't know, makes me feel better.
dude,
So
those
Makes
thank
you
cork
you.
feel alive.
footbeds I had for probably 4 or 5 years. I wore nothing but like the old school Red Wing work boots that had the cork midsole, and then the insole layer was just like a piece of leather that formed to your foot.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. And then they stopped giving me those at work, so I started buying my own barefoot boots.
Yeah.
I wore Vivo hiking boots for like 2 years. And for the first 6 months, my feet hurt so bad. But like once I made it past that point, like I'm wearing the Bruins now for work for about, I don't know, it's been 8 months or so. Like my feet never get sore anymore, but it took a long time to build up that foot strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to wear the steel toes now. Like I keep them in the back of the service van. It's like, all right, we're going to do a shit job. Let me change my shoes real quick because the rest of the time I can't deal with them, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things like ignorance is bliss until you start paying attention to your feet. And then like once you start like wearing wider or more flat shoes, like you wear
Yeah.
something constrictive, like you put me in a pair of Nike running shoes now, like I'd feel like my feet are gonna fall to pieces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've had 3 decades
Lieutenant
of
Dan was right.
wearing boots made by the lowest fucking bidder is the issue with ours. So
Oh yeah, I love like a quick side tangent when like something is described as military spec. I'm like, do you think that like something being mil spec means that it's the highest
it's
quality, or is it
horrible.
just what they could pump out millions of on a government contract to make the
Yep.
most profit on? Like that means that it's functional, but in the shittiest way possible.
We bought an entire fleet of trucks that before they even finished the testing, they already announced the Quebec company that they were going to give the contract to, because a buddy of mine was on the testing team. It failed every parameter they have, so they just dropped the parameters to the very minimum level where it passed.
Mm-hmm.
And they got these trucks. They're faster if you drop them out of a fucking plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just terrible. But
Oh yeah.
Like the Reynolds wrap boats,
yeah,
the literal combat shit that made out of aluminum because it's lighter weight and it just cracks because
yeah.
it's aluminum.
Yep. Or
Brilliant.
Paul. We'll go in this direction. How about when they awarded the contract for the sidearm for the U.S. to the gun that goes off inside its fucking holster because it was $200 cheaper per unit to go with the SIGs?
There's a
It's
little
like,
bit.
what the
There's a
fuck?
little more to that story, actually. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The kid that got
the plot
killed.
thickens. The
Yeah,
plot thickens.
the kid that had got shot in the chest. The guy who claimed it was his fucking holster was actually playing quick draw.
No shit.
Yeah, he was playing quick draw, and then he threatened the other 2 guys who witnessed it. My military went through that. Oh God, how far left? It's got to be 10, 11 years ago. There was a couple kids in a tent, and they were playing fucking quick draw with pistols, and Buddy put a hole in the kid's fucking chest.
That
And
sucks, man.
well, it's stupidity. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
yeah,
You don't always get the smartest types. Like,
nope.
you know, my cousin who was in the Marines, he definitely acts like he could eat crayons and sustain himself off of that, you know. And the shit that he told me, I'm like, you guys have this wonderful reputation. If only they knew all you guys do is get drunk and break things.
Oh my God, dude, there's nothing. I'm 55 years old and still at work. Guys, like, I'm like, they just keep me busy because if I'm left to my own devices, I'm gonna fucking. I wonder if I can light that on fire. I wonder if I can jump that. Like, yeah, it doesn't change based on age, man.
Yep.
Maybe that's just any government employee because everything there, you're not worried about the cost or fucking it up because you didn't pay for it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I could talk for an hour about the dumb shit that we've done at work because you got 20 dudes and they're bored, and you got government issue vehicles, you know.
Well, that's it. Well, for our guys, there's 99% of them have real jobs. Like Lydia has always had a real job in the military, but I'm a fucking tanker.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to close with and destroy the enemy through the aggressive use of firepower and battlefield mobility. That's the definition of it. Never done it, never will do it. So they got to give me stuff to keep me occupied. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking get in shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck something up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, the stories I tell her about what we did, just Jesus Christ, you shouldn't. And I'm like, it was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean,
That is fine.
There was a couple
It's a
years
different time. It was
I
2
spent
weeks ago.
I spent like 5-6 years just
was
in the last few
yesterday.
years working in headquarters with like all adults, right? Like all very senior ranks and all this kind of stuff. Then I get back to my about 3 years ago, I got posted back. I'm in this job and it's all 21-year-olds. And I come in one day and the guy's like, "Hey, fuck, we had an incident last night. So in the barracks, some guy told this other guy not to do something, and this guy's buddy took umbrage, and they got in a fucking fist fight. And everybody that I'm working with is like all upset, and I'm just like, oh my god, corporals are still being corporals. I'm like, a guy got in a fist fight because he didn't like this guy talking to his buddy, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's fucking beautiful, boys. And they're
Hmm.
all like, well, what are we gonna do?
Good
And
for
I'm like,
you.
just bring them in, rattle their cage, scare the shit out of them, think they're, but just,
Hey,
dude, that's perfect. That's awesome, man.
hey, they're sorting it out the way they know how
That's
to,
it,
you know?
right? It's just
Yeah.
shenanigans. It's shenanigans. But like these
Somebody say
guys were all
shenanigans?
upset about it. They're all younger people. The
Yeah.
the leadership guys were all younger, and I'm just like, fuck, guys. We want aggressive people. We want guys that aren't afraid of a little,
Nope.
But it wasn't a brawl. It wasn't anything. It was just a few punches, and
Hmm.
everybody's in okay. Nobody's hurt. So just again, terrify them, make them think they're in worse shit, give them some extra duties, give them some shit jobs, and then it's done. That's blood in your sword. They paid their
And
dues.
then maybe there's like a 10% chance they learned a lesson from it.
That's it. Well, they learned a lesson is like look around,
Or
do this.
Hmm.
especially where it's people want to pretend that people aren't animals, and it's like they gotta sort it out and have the pecking order. Like there's gonna be a pecking order no matter what.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just let it sort it out that way. That way you don't have somebody pulling their pistol, fast drawing later
Yep. Well, and they
because
teach the guys
they're
to.
dumb enough to do that. So
Yeah. Anyways, good fun, good laughs.
Hmm.
yeah,
Fucking kids. God.
Oh, yeah. I have too much fun at work, you know. God bless the New York State tax space. That's all I can say. I am the bad influence. I'm not always the one doing the bad stuff, but I am the one going, come on, man, you won't fucking do it. Let's
Yeah.
see you do it.
What are you, a pussy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now I have
oh,
also succumbed to those you know,
oh
100%.
I, I may just piss people because so accounting is the biggest pussies on the planet, and
except for
like
you, Steve. You're
no,
the
I,
probably the
I
only non-pencil neck there.
no, I absolutely include myself in there. I there's no exceptions. It doesn't exist. Anyone that says that they aren't a pussy with that is a liar. But I just piss off all my coworkers because like I have no self esteem. It does not matter, and they're all trying to like posture and be. It's like you'll have dudes that go to like cardio kickboxing and they think that they're an MMA guy, and it's like, bro, my brother was a half-ass fighter, and I know I can kick your ass. Like, chill, calm down. You're not a fighter. You're just calm down. It's it's
Oh,
it's so
it
annoying.
it's funny, like when we get new guys, especially like in the trades, it's all like rah rah, I'm Mr. Tough blue collar guy, and they want to talk about all these big jobs they were on and everything and shit. I'm just okay, sure. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you built the fucking Empire State Building or you just fucking changed light bulbs. Like, just don't be a piece of shit and we're cool. But these guys that like
Yeah,
they go on, and it's like okay, the first couple months, like you're just trying to get to know everybody and everything. But when there's like been 2 years and that's all they could fucking talk about, like you gotta fucking move on at some point, dude. Like we're all here, we're all suffering together. Like I don't give a shit what you do. It's just when I call you and I fucking need you because a pipe exploded, just fucking be there and help me. If you can't
yep,
help me there, you're worthless to me. I don't care what you did before that, you know?
yep, yeah. We don't have any of that. Nothing matters. It's
Yeah.
accounting. Nobody's gonna die. Nothing's gonna get flooded. It's like
Oh
people
yeah.
bitch and moan. Like if it's 64 degrees in the office, they bitch. And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, I used to shovel shit for free. Like
Right.
we have
And
heat. We have
it's
air
funny
conditioning.
that like at the end of the day too, like especially in government work, nothing matters even if it is a big deal. Like I had a pipe break in it. I may or may not have been involved with what caused the pipe to break. Fried a freight elevator car, flooded fucking 4 floors of a high rise building. You know what happened? I got like 2 weeks of overtime to fix everything. I was rewarded for the fucking inept workability, you know? And
Yeah,
you just, I've been there for almost 10 years now. Like you get enough of that, it just ruins you so bad mentally. Like nothing fucking matters.
Oh
I
yeah.
could burn a building to the ground, as long as I didn't, steal a piece of cardboard out of the garbage, I'm fine.
Yep. It's crazy.
And you wonder
Unlike
why every government agency is in debt. It's because every single person who works in every position is just as inept as their job as I am.
well,
It's the
so
Peter
that
principle.
goes into the entire goal of every government organization is to spend their budget and ask for more. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
And
That's
to
the
do as
goal.
little as possible with it.
Yep. But I think we went off the rails on that one.
Oh, big time.
I'm just firing you guys up and letting you go.
Okay. We could reel it back in a little.
Yeah.
What's training
I
look like
needed a
for the
quick.
next week
I just needed
for
a
you guys?
bathroom break, so I just launched a quick topic out there, and then I had tons of time.
Just throwing the grenade in there.
Yeah.
If we can get back on the rails before we wrap up, what's everybody
Yeah.
doing next week? Like, what's your biggest lift session coming up that you're looking forward to?
I've got that stupid sumo deadlift 1 rep max on Monday. Monday.
What's the setup? Is it just straight weight from the floor?
Yeah, I'm so bad at so I my deadlift I keep as simple as possible where it's just rotate between trap bar for the overload and just the pressure, conventional sumo, and just rotate those three and I'm good. If I
Okay.
get bored of that or if I'm like really far in the off season, I'll throw in RDLs forever and just throw out everything else. But with that, I was getting not used to the range of motion to the floor. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I brought this 9 week wave back and just run it.
How about you, Scans? What do you got for big lifts coming up this week?
Big Jake shoots me on Saturday and Sunday, man. I'm not
Okay.
sure. It might be a bit of a deload coming up. I'm not quite sure. We're kind of. I don't ask too many questions. I'm a good client. I just get it. I'm like, okay, that's what we're gonna
All
do.
right.
My great story about the 505 deadlift. I told him my PR was like 501 and change or something. A little bit of shrapnel in there, and there was a little miscommunication. He thought that was with a monster bar, and no, I said I hit 535 with a monster bar, but my straight bar deadlift. So he'd program me a straight bar deadlift at 505 for a double. I'm like, okay. And I posted it up, and I'm like, hey, it's three or 4 pounds over my max, but I hit it for a double because that's what coach programmed. And Jake goes back, he's like, holy fuck, I thought that you had hit this before. I'm like, no, that was on the monster bar, the 10-foot bar. And he's like, fuck. I'm like, you wrote it down, so I'm gonna do it.
He's a
Just
good
put the weight
soldier.
on
He
the
does what
bar.
he's told.
Yeah, if you tell me what to do, I'm gonna do it, man. So, but I'm not sure. Like I said, we're just kind of starting the run in. I'm about 12 weeks out from my next competition there, so we're
It's the weirdest thing. Jake just put down on the PDF just 810 on squat. It's the weirdest thing.
if he puts it down, I'm doing it. I was joking. There was
So
a typo.
Suck it, Bryce.
He put something down in my program one day, and it was like I can't remember. It was something like fucking ab work, like ab wheel or something. It was like
Mhm.
3 sets of 6, but it was like 6, 6, 66, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, did Mrs. Gantz tell you she wants me to hit some fucking ripped abs or something? What do you mean 66? Oh my god, it's a typo. I'm like, I would have done 66 if you didn't tell me.
yeah, and then you've been walking hunched over for the next 2 weeks.
Didn't matter. He's the coach, man. He's the guy that knows better. So
Yep.
How did Scance die? Oh, he did 66 reps of
yeah.
ab wheel and he just died.
But look at
Yep.
those fucking abs. Jesus. So
Ew. I haven't had a carb since 2004.
yeah. So no, I don't know. I think it might be a little bit of a download, a little bit of a deload, sorry, but I don't
Nice.
know. I had a couple big numbers this week, so maybe we're gonna fucking keep riding the game train, buddy. We're gonna keep
That's what I
riding the
like to
fucking
see.
train.
So for Paul, should I ask you, Steve, what's Paul doing next week?
Oh, that is a good question.
Or is it a
What's
surprise?
what's my box squat going to be? That's my big lift for the week because then it's a new wave of bench and then rack pulls or whatever.
So you took four, Was it 425 or 435?
For
435.
SSB,
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, 435. So you'll take that and then chip it. 440. Just take
Attaboy.
440.
Bands. I like it.
Yeah.
What if
440
it
plus
feels? What if
bands,
it feels? What if it feels really good?
then 455. Why would you not take four and a quarter? Four and a little 10.
That's
So,
fair.
oh wait, did I explain that to you guys too? So just to piss off Pat, we changed the name of, instead of calling 25s quarters, we call them little tens just because we know it's going to irritate Pat
Perfect.
for no other reason other than he's been either in Florida or somewhere else, so we're just pissing him off.
I literally can't think of a better reason to call him that then.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So we can't add. We were thinking because I have the 1 pound plate like change plates, but we might call the hundreds little ones.
Perfect.
But we're not fluent in the little 10 yet, so we're not going to add anything new until we're fluent with this new language.
Yeah, I think you need an appendix in your book. You need to do a revised edition too, where it has all the nomenclature for what everything's called inside the waffle iron gym.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always changing though.
That's true.
We
So
kept
you can keep releasing new editions of the book, and then the profits just go up. So it's like the eighth iteration of 531, but it's still 531. But you do this
yeah.
one little thing different, and then
Oh,
you can
the
have
worst
Wendler's
was
money.
we had we kept getting this ad for this podcast with this guy Tom Papa, and we had no idea what he looked like, and it turns out he's just like the like I don't want to say like the gay Drew Carey because I don't even know if he's gay or not, but like it was just like this discount Drew Carey, like crazy glasses. And I got so pissed off when I found out who he was, but he's on our board now as like Tom Papa, and he has like 9.99 as his bench just to piss us off.
Oh yeah, gotta have a little motivation.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's super obscure. We changed Yanni's name to Tamagotchi
perfect.
because
Those young
Yanni
lifters you got probably don't even know how to keep them alive.
Just got to feed him.
they knew the reference though, so that was impressive.
Honestly, that's surprising because
Yeah.
like some of these young kids that train with us sometimes, like we got the one chick, she's 17 and like she likes to get after it. Like, you get all the 50-year-old dudes in there and you got like, the metal blasting and everything, and she'll come down just to run the rack and like the hardest worker we have. But then I had 50 Cent playing on the radio. I'm like, do you know who's singing this? And she's like, I have no idea who this is. I'm like, oh my God, this
Oh, see,
generation is cooked.
I am so terrible with all music where it's like I have no idea who's playing. Like I can't even tell you. There's one song that I always piss off Christo and just say, "Hey, Christo, it's your song," and it's like the Dance Macabre or something lame. It's like whenever we have like Sabaton on, it's just like whatever other like weird European music's playing. So it's like 2000s, but just like shitty 80s like wannabe metal. It's terrible, but it's like catchy enough. But we have no idea who you know who sings
Hey,
it.
whatever works for you guys. I'm thinking I'm gonna start what I did last year that built the deadlift and the max effort hinges during the week raw are coming back. It was supposed to start this week, and then I realized that it was going to start the day I donated blood, so I'm postponing it a week. But
Yep.
I'm going to pick up with a 3-inch sumo block pull. I don't know if I'm going to do it raw or in gear, but we're going to bring back the Zercher pin pulls and stuff, and then I think depending on who's doing what on Sunday, there might be a possibility that I have a second or a third shot with the denim here with the new shirt coming in, and I hope this one holds together. So I've got the bench meet coming up. It's 2 weeks after the Arnold, so we're getting there pretty close.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I'm pretty confident in my new multiply shirt, the poly one I got. I've used it twice so far, and it's just like my single ply, but just a little thicker, and a little looser. So that's been working good. So I know no problems with that one, but we're gonna see what can happen with the denim. The old guy that owns the barn that we train with, he loves his denim shirt, and all I want is to do a bench meet with him where we both wear them. But I got to get him back in, and he's down in weight now. He's got like a Inzer double denim from the freaking '90s. I wore that thing, and it was so tight, like I could never touch in it. So I'm hoping this new one will be good. We'll see what happens Sunday. I'll let you guys know.
Yep.
But
Little
hey,
rip.
at least we got back on topic a little bit here. This has been a good one tonight, guys.
Yeah, this is fun.
So where are we? Ooh, 11 o'clock. We got to be close to an hour and a half of recording time here.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. We can
11 o'clock. What are you talking about?
it's midnight up there.
midnight up
Saturday,
there.
buddy.
It's 10 o'clock here. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I'm in Tomorrowland, buddy. It's crazy here.
We
I
got
always
anything
screw
else
with the
to
kids.
button up?
With the kids, I always screw with them that if you bench 405, it opens up a new dimension. But it's like they're starting to catch me now, though. They're like all of the boards, especially Matt because he has short arms. Like they're within 40 or 50 pounds of me now, which it's like if I have a bad day, they could catch me.
Better keep your
Sounds like
eyes out.
you got to
Yep.
widen the gap a little more, Steve. Come on.
You just
I
can't have
would if
any
I
bad
could.
days.
Unfortunately, I mostly have bad days.
The bad days can't last forever.
Yeah.
I've been in a slump for an entire year. It's bound to end eventually.
Hey, dude.
So
I'm still hitting
so
PRs in my 50s. Don't friggin' knock it. It's still there.
we started doing we still wave our boards, but I started messing with a 3 week wave of so we went like three board or we went three board to four board to two board, but you get 3 weeks of each. And the first week is with a micro band, and then no band, and then a micro band again. And so we're on the two board right now, and my PR is 410, and I've missed it before. So next week will be the first time attempting it in a couple of months. But I always miss 412.5, like the last like two or three cycles. So now every time that one of them pisses me off, I just refer to them as you're being a real 412.5 right now, you motherfucker.
So what it sounds like is you need to jump right to 415 and just skip that number because you've missed
I
it so many times you don't even bother.
so I've tried 415, I've tried 417.5, I've tried 420.
Have you tried
I
Sloan
might
800?
not yet. I might need to.
Don't
Your
fucking
bar
take a
Take a
speed
bing
on the
bang,
way
bong,
bitch.
down
Jump
is
try
going
in.
to
to
be phenomenal.
bing bong shirt in 1,000. Just do it.
Fucking rip it. Grip it and rip it, man. Don't be a pussy.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, guys. You got anything else for us, Steve?
No, I think I'm good.
All
You
right.
What
steer
do you
your
guys?
ship, baby.
Make sure whoever's listening to this, all 13 of you, go buy Steve's book so that he can come out to South Dakota next summer.
It's technically me putting it on my podcast that I listen to as I fall asleep every night. It helps cover my tinnitus.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
you got to have a
couldn't believe
podcast to sleep.
right now, Steve is an international selling author.
Technically, yes.
Yep,
Technically, yes.
yep. Checks out. I've had sales.
I don't bring a lot to the game, but I bring a friggin' international flavor.
Yep, it's true.
Never disappoints either.
That's it.
Well, and it was funny because Bryce had mentioned start doing the shorts, YouTube shorts. And like I posted a squat from yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, yesterday. And I went and looked at the views and it was like right now it's at 447 views for a short. And it made no sense. But Bryce was a genius. He's just like, "Oh, just do shorts
On what, Instagram?
on YouTube
YouTube.
to build your YouTube following."
Oh, seen. Yeah, yes. Got it. Tracking, yeah.
Bryce was like, he's not doing it. He's a big vlogging guy, but he hasn't been doing his vlogs, so he just posts his shorts. And he said, he's up to like 400 and something subscribers just by posting shorts.
Well, I mean, realistically, that long form shit, like, I don't. I've got a list of, my YouTube list
Yep.
of gym stuff, and I watch, when I go out, and if I'm warming up or puttering around the gym, I watch just selection of YouTube videos, right? Whatever's whatever's going on this week. And like, I got to shut it off as soon as I start like hitting weights, like
Oh yeah.
working weights. I can't.
Yep.
I have no idea how fuck Jen and them listen to podcasts because I can't even focus on the song that's playing.
Yep.
But yeah, but like there's some of them are, a 30-minute video. I'm like, I can't. I'll put that on if I'm doing cardio or something, rowing. But
Yeah.
like, I only watch videos 10 minutes at a crack type of thing. So
Oh yeah.
shorts is pretty good for getting quick snippets and bites, right?
Yeah. Well, and especially where like I'm just reposting just this whole thing, but like I'm not putting effort into this. If I might have this published by midnight.
Yep.
I'm
Like,
setting
I will
QRs
put this
how
on
fast I can upload this.
when this drops. I will usually put it on when I'm cooking supper or something like that.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
when the Massnomics one, the mother one drops, I'll put on
Yep.
put it on while cooking supper or whatever the hell it is, right? So I don't really have to pay attention or watch stuff. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't fucking. It isn't like when it was lockdown time. I watched everything on YouTube.
I don't
I
want to
still try
talk about
to.
how much YouTube I watch when I'm at work.
I
The thing
barely
is,
watch
only
TV.
get so oversaturated on like lifting stuff between like Instagram and everything that like my YouTube, I have to watch like completely different stuff on there. But I'll
Oh
I'll
yeah.
watch an hour and a half long videos about freaking little cardboard squares about this big and nerd out over that. But
Yeah.
Oh my god! Do you ever
it,
watch the hydraulic press?
oh
Oh
god,
yeah.
like you can
Especially
go
when I
down
had the
some
One
rabbit
Ring.
holes. The hydraulic press ones or the Arkansas Straight Trooper pit maneuver videos. I'll
Oh
watch
my
those for an
god!
hour at a time.
The young fella, they got him by name. He's the fucking king of pits.
Yeah,
That dude
that
is
like
fucking awesome.
they will kill you to stop a high speed chase. I don't care if you get ejected, roll over
Oh yeah.
15 times. Like you're going down. Like
Don't run.
yeah, it's nuts. Like that really sucks me in.
Yep. God, I can't remember what that trooper's name is. Yeah, I ran across his stuff there just quite recently.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Here we go. Completely off the rails again.
That's kind of our MO though. No,
Yep.
mine recently has been the masonry heaters, like the the chimneys that you know you have. It's not just like a normal stove. It's like the whole fireplace is built in so that you have like the smoke's traveling throughout so that it heats up the entire like stonework so that your entire house, stays
really?
warmer longer.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're popular over in like Sweden and Norway.
I've seen not quite that, but I've definitely seen some stuff where like guys will put a heat exchanger right there so
Yep.
that like the smoke and everything, all the heat from that, there'll be a coil in there and then they'll have a pump running the hot water and use that to, spread the heat out more than just the area of the actual wood stove, just to get
Yeah.
more out of the energy that they're already creating from the
Yeah,
fire,
they're pretty cool where it's like, they'll have like a pizza oven where you light one fire and it just holds the heat so well that like you can cook a pizza like 4 hours later and
Oh
Jeez.
like
yeah.
the heat's still there. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's just, one of those weird, obscure like survival things that I've gotten into.
Hmm.
Just watching videos of. It's like the Viking like houses that have, maintained for 1,000 years, and it's because they just coat it with pine sap.
Yeah.
Who knew?
be fair,
So
it's a
White.
mine
Viking.
is very schizophrenic with all of that. But All
All
right,
good.
boys. I think we won this one.
Yep. Maybe in 2 weeks we can core still in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and
He's
see if we
traveling a
can.
lot, eh? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
oh
think
yeah.
so.
Like he's on the
I don't
road
think
quite a bit, so
I don't think he actually exists. I think he's a figment of all of our imaginations. He's a shared hallucination.
dude, he's whispered in my ear, breathe, breathe.
That was actually God.